to the 11ty Life podcast.
Hey guys, it's Matt. Welcome to this episode of 11ty Life. And oh my gosh, if you have had a week so far, you and I are in the same boat, sister. It's been a crazy week here at the studio. It's been a crazy week for me personally. And to top it all off, while I was doing some yard work this week, I also happened to stumble upon an awful lot of poison ivy. So I am currently covered all over my arms and probably a little bit of my face right now in poison ivy. And all of the home remedies seem to not be working. So I guess we'll see what happens with that. Anyway, I'm really excited about the show today. I think that you're going to love it. I actually based this entire show today off of one single tweet that somebody tweeted out. You don't have to be the majority. You don't have to be the minority. Sometimes I happen to see tweets and I decide to base entire shows off of them. This week's episode, we are doing the song Worthless from an album that I put out under the Jellyrox called Bang Whimper in 2015, 2016 area. So lots of synthesizers, lots of fun pop moments. And I can't wait to dig into that session. Hey, a quick reminder, the eleventyseven Inside Out remix competition is still going strong. And the remixes that I've heard come in so far sound so much fun. There's even one that just took the entire song and did almost all of it on guitar. And I thought that was so creative and so fun. A huge thank you and welcome to all of the new members of the 11ty Life Facebook group. We obviously approve all of you to be a part of the group, so we definitely take note, and it's so exciting to see that community growing, and so fun to see all of the super cool pictures that you guys are sharing and memories of 11ty. I just feel so honored and humbled that all of you even remember these tiny little moments that we all shared together. So anyway, I love it. If you're interested in diving a little bit deeper into the 11ty Life and plugging into the 11ty Life community, you can get to that Facebook group via our website, eleventysevenisalive.com, or just click on the show notes of this podcast that you're listening to right now. Hey, for those of you who are tired of hearing about it, we are working on a brand new EP, and I'm going to give you a little bit of a spoiler right now. One of the songs that we're doing on this EP is a reworking of our song Appalachian Wine. So for those of you who don't know, like a few years ago we put out this EP. It was called Attack of the Mountain Medley, and it was just kind of an experiment that we did where we were like, let's just sit down and try to come up with some storytelling country/folk sort of songs. And for whatever reason, this song, Appalachian Wine, became the biggest thing that we've ever written on the internet. And I have no idea why. It just seemed to sort of resonate with people. And so what we're going to do for this EP is actually do a reworking of that song in a way that we would do it now. If eleventyseven were to take this song and produce it now the way we were going to, you're going to get to hear what that would sound like, what Appalachian Wine would sound like with eleventyseven doing it right now in 2018. So I'm excited to share that with you guys. Oh yeah, by the way, brand new Rock Candy Recordings t-shirts are available right now in our online store. And if you are just chomping at the bit to support what we do here with our podcasts, you're going to want to go get one. While I am not a huge fan of just blatant consumerism, I do think that we do something really fun here with the podcast and with the label and with the whole 11ty Life, eleventyseven universe. And we love being able to offer items that sort of help us recognize each other. So there's that. One last thing before we get into today's episode. Hey, if you have an idea for the show, or you have a guest that you want to come on, or you have a song that you want us to cover, or you have a music industry or music business question that you really want answered and that you want addressed, we're already picking up on a lot of these from you guys on the Facebook group and on Twitter, and on just emails that we keep getting. So we are planning some other show episodes where we're going to cover a lot of these questions. But if you have questions or commentary or feedback on the show, please feel free to reach out to us. We love to hear from you and we love your ideas. We'd love to give you exactly what you want. So be sure to hit up eleventysevenisalive.com and click on the podcast button, and you can submit all of those things, all of your ideas there really easily, really quickly. You can download all of the audio stems for the remix competition. It's the hottest new place on the internet, eleventysevenisalive.com right now. I'm so full of shit. Hey, we're going to get into this episode and it's going to be super fun. So this song that we're going to do on today's solo button is a song called Worthless. If I remember correctly, this song went through 5 or 6 different iterations. I'm pretty sure that the original song didn't sound anything like what we came up with here. This is one of the few songs that I started out writing on piano. So the song sort of opens up with a piano and then kind of dives into this Cyndi Lauper-esque 80s synth poppedness. So yeah, I'm going to play you guys the finalized mastered version of this song that appeared on Bang Whimper. If you really like this song and you want to check out the rest of the album, you can get to it in the show notes. It's by me, the Jellyrox, and yeah, I hope it changes your life. So that was Worthless from the album Bang Whimper. And I kind of feel like lyrically, it's sort of a sad song. It's actually sort of a lament in a lot of different ways. And hey, if you've ever been in a relationship, if you've ever been in a committed friendship or relationship with a significant other or a marriage, you guys all know that communication can be really difficult. And it's not because you don't want to communicate. It's because sometimes we lack the ability to communicate in a way that other people can understand. I know that that's been a struggle for me. I feel like over the years, I've lost so many relationships because I simply lacked the ability to communicate my my feelings or my emotions in a healthy way or in an adequate way. Or on the flip side of that, I've been unable to step outside of myself and to understand someone else's emotions in a way that they really needed me to. Everybody experiences those kinds of moments within relationships. And that's really what this song is about, is feeling like you're putting your best foot forward in something, that you're doing everything that you can to love and to show love to someone, and it gets completely misconstrued in some way, shape, or form. Isn't that life? Ships in the night. I feel like there's so many times where we just sort of miss each other. That seems to be an ongoing lyrical theme in this album in particular, is just communication, just attempting to communicate, feeling so helpless to be able to express an idea in time to save a relationship or to save a connection with another person. So anyway, let's dive into the fun stuff about the song. So we have some really simple rhythmic parts going on here. In true, I guess 11tyseven Jellyrox fashion, we have a lot of interesting rhythmic bits that make no sense apart from each other, but once they all kind of add up together, they become something really fun. So this first thing that we sort of start off with here is this piano idea. And I'm pretty sure that this piano idea lasted throughout almost all of the demos of the song and all the different iterations of the song. And I'm pretty sure that this was made just using a stock Pro Tools piano plugin. And then it was run through some filters and EQs. Yeah, and effects, just to make it sound kind of crappy or sort of lo-fi, or like it maybe belonged on an old vinyl record or something. So we can move from that into this drum section. And this drum section is made up of some really simple kicks and snares that sort of hold the backbone of it together. Yeah. So there's the kick drum rocking, and then we'll hit it again and just sort of solo the snare with the kick drum. Really fun snare sample, and kind of really reminiscent of like those 80s sort of snares that are mostly just white noise. You can kind of hear it, like there's definitely some weight and some impact to the snare, but a lot of what makes the snare feel so kind of happy is that it almost kind of feels like you stayed up too late watching television and it's gone off the air and you just kind of get this white noise that sort of happens. You know what? That doesn't happen anymore. There's no such thing as going off the air on television anymore because we all watch internet TV. So some of you may not even know what I'm talking about. So here we go. I'm going to solo this hi-hat in here, and the hi-hat just sort of holds down, makes the kick and snare make sense. It's playing these 16th notes here. And then underneath all of that, we also have this track called Clack, and I'll play that for you. That sounds like a really tiny snare sample as well. And it's just sort of playing those things down here. And then I have a track called Snap. And the Snap track sounds a little something like this. So I am going to show you guys just how these things sort of play off of one another. So we have our Snap track here, and then I'm going to add in the Clack track too. Snap. Yeah, and then I'm going to add in the hats. It's kind of fun. It's starting to slowly make a little bit more sense. And then if I throw the kick drum in here, and then the thing that's really going to tie it all together is this snare track. So there you go. It's a really simple sort of drum track. Just adding all those little bits and pieces just feel like it makes it move. It makes it feel so much more interesting. It makes it feel like it has more movement to it, like it knows where it's going. It has a destination and it's ready to go there. So that's the very first part of the song. That's the intro, the first verse of the song. And then we also sort of have these keys, this bass that comes in. So I'm going to play that for you. Yep. So if I throw the kick and snare in here with the bass, it makes a lot more sense. Yeah. And so I'm pretty sure that I made that bass sound with a Moog Minitar, which is a bass synthesizer. I love the way that specific synthesizer sort of sits in the mix. It has so much low end and girth to it. It can really carry a lot of power and weight with it in a way that I haven't seen a lot of other synthesizers do. So to me, this thing is like very much a one trick pony, but gosh, it's a really fun trick. And so here we go. We have some keys going on here as well. So I'll play what those are for you because they're all layered in this first verse. We have our piano part. And then I have this other software synthesizer that kind of sounds like a Wurlitzer or a Rhodes down here, but a little more magical, a little more unicornish. Kind of swimmy, kind of fun. And then if I throw the piano on top of that. Yeah. So one of the other things that's really fun about this part too is that, like in a lot of 80s music, you kind of hear these very sequenced sort of choppy sounds that are almost acting as drum sounds, but they make everything feel so fun, especially when you get to a lot of those 80s choruses. So I'll solo what these little guys sound like for you right now that are happening here. And those are just little choppy sounds made with the Juno 106. And then if I throw the piano and the little swimmy Wurlitzer sound, then you get something kind of like this. And then if I throw the bass in there, so it's really fun. It almost kind of has this sort of Phil Collins-ish feel to it. And as much as not a good idea to Wikipedia Phil Collins and see what his personal life looks like, I absolutely love a lot of the stuff that he came up with in the 80s. Pretty sweet and pretty fun. So the other thing that you'll notice that is that provides sort of a melodic hook for the song is this little solo line here, and it's made up of a whole bunch of different sounds. So I'm going to solo this for you right now. So we would call this like a lead or like an instrumental hook in the song. So there's that, which I'm sure you guys heard in the song itself. I'm going to solo the other part of that that's happening underneath it. It's a little bit different of a sound. And then underneath all of that, we have another another layer to this. I'm pretty sure that's the Juno 106. Just has a really soft, sort of delicate feel to it. I love it. And then if I start to solo all of them together, we start out with the bottom one, add the other, and then add the top one. So now we have a much more complex and fun and weighty sort of sound. It feels so much more confident, like it knows what it's doing. It's like, I'm the melody line, I'm here, get on board or get out. That's not what that line says at all. It's so much more friendly than that. So we're going to play all of this stuff together. Oh, wait. We have a whole bunch of Juno pads happening here that we did not solo. I'll let you guys hear what those sound like. Oh, yeah. Woo! Just so chopped up. I'm pretty sure that's the Juno 106. That is like, if I named the album something besides Bang Whimper, it would just be like goofing off with the Juno 106. So that's like me playing the same part on the Juno about 5 different times and layering it. And all the layers sound like pretty similar. So I'm not going to go and solo all of those because you would be like, Matt, okay, we get it. And I would be bored with myself as well. But I did chop them up to kind of make them feel like they fit in with the drum group a little bit more. And actually, to prove my point, I'm just going to solo all these cool little drum parts here and then let you hear what they sound like with just the drums and those pads. Yeah. So that's what they sound like by themselves. And then all together, they sound like this. Cool. I feel like while I was writing this song, I was kind of bummed out, and I think to make me feel better about the words that I was singing, I just made the song feel like the most angelic Prozac happy thing that I could possibly think of. But I love that. Like, I think that a lot of times maybe it sounds cheesy or it sounds over the top. I don't care. I don't give a shit. I love the way that these types of tones and these timbres, these synthesizer parts can all sort of come together with a really energetic drum beat and just do something to elevate the mood that you feel. You're playing with this lyrical mood and with a musical mood, and I love songs that have something really serious to say. Not saying that this song is like amazingly serious, but it is honest. I like the dichotomy of those two things of saying something kind of heavy with a very lighthearted sort of feel to it. To me, it's almost like telling a joke. Like, you can get across really important points using comedy to sort of disarm people. If you can make people laugh, you can say something a lot more serious or something that they may even find offensive if you had said it in any other setting. But within this context, within the context of a joke, it's almost like, well, I'm laughing. I can't. We've had an exchange of emotion that was so positive for both of us that I certainly can't take what you're saying as being offensive, because I know that you don't mean it that way. And I kind of feel like musically, that's sort of what I was going for here. So maybe the music of this song is the punchline of the joke. So then we move over here to this first verse. Yeah. So much fun. Oh man. So I've got this little track happening down here that I love. And I think I made this on the Moog Sub Fatty. It's just white noise that I'm using a filter to make sound fun. Yeah. So it's playing the exact same part that the hi-hat is, but it's slowly sort of opening up and gives this feeling or this idea that like you're going somewhere, that you're traveling upward, that you're rocketing off into the sky, into a brand new unicorn reality. And then I've got these little guys down here that are just, I love these little snappy sounds. So much fun. Just a little, whoop. I love it. Oh man. And then we have this little percussion guy happening right here. Wow, that makes no sense. I can't even remember why I would have put those little guys in there. Oh yeah. Laser guns. Got it. Woo, yeah. All together, they make something fun. Oh yeah. So what is that? What is that little guy? Just that little meow. Yeah, now we're getting super Star Trek-y. Man, Man, so much fun. And then down here we have this new bass part, and underneath all those drums, we kind of have this little guy going on. We have this little guy going on, which sounds to me like the Juno 106. And most people that are listening to this are like, Matt, we don't care. It sounds just like the other synthesizer that you were talking about earlier. I know, shut up. We have this guy going over top of it, kind of making a nice interval of fourths and fifths, I think, alternating between the two. Just so simple, but I love how fun it sounds. And then all together. Yeah. Okay. So for all of you songwriters out there, you know how important the pre-chorus is. We're just setting up this mood, letting you know that there's a little bit of dynamic range here to the writing and to the song itself, because that's a pretty fun and pretty happy sort of verse. So just giving everybody a breather before we head into till we head into the all skate of the chorus, I feel like is really important. So I decided to do that with just this kind of muted sort of pad that I'm pretty sure was on the 106. So we come out of that first verse into this pre-chorus. Oh my God. It just feels like the most pillowy sort of thing. I feel like when I hear this sound, I feel like it is the audible version of a Tempur-Pedic mattress commercial. Everyone just looks like they're having so much fun sleeping. I love that. Yeah. So we have that happening over there, over top of there too. More laser sounds. Matt, come on. Just really simple. Wow, there's only these 2 tracks happening. And then we also have the lead vocals that are happening right here as well. I'll solo those for you.
Apologies are only worth the wait of what they take to say.
And then actually, I'm going to solo these lead vocals here from the first verse that we didn't really get to. So let's see what that sounds like.
Lose my temper like my car keys. Go from ally to enemy. Oh, I shoot fire like a dragon flame. Burn you up, make my getaway. Oh,
gosh, Matt, calm down. That's a pretty high melody line. Underneath that, I think we have either octaves or harmonies.
Lose my temper like
octaves.
My car keys. Go from ally to enemy. Oh, I shoot fire like a dragon flame. Burn you up, make my getaway. Oh.
So you're hearing 8 of me at one time. Big shocker. It just, I kind of wanted this to have more of like a gang vocal feel, like something that you could sort of shout along to or shout along with if you wanted to, just shout, let it all out. Yep. So here's what we sound like when we put all of it together. To the pre-chorus.
Apologies are only worth the wait of what they take to say.
Yeah. All right. So we're ready for the chorus. We are so ready for the chorus. Matt, don't bore us. Get us to the chorus. Okay, guys, chill out. See what we have going on here with the drums. Just gonna solo all of these little drum parts so that we can hear what's going on. And yeah, so we've started doing those movie sort of sounding hi-hats. just gives the impression that there's some motion happening. And then if we solo the bass, you can see how that starts working with the drums in the chorus. Loving it. Loving it. And so one of the things that kind of moves the song along, I guess because it was written on piano, man, this piano part really does sort of drive the chorus, and everything else is sort of programmed to sort of prop up this piano. I'll let you guys hear what we're getting into there. Got some lower piano notes there. And if I throw the Wurlitzer on top, super 80s. Awesome. And throw a little bit of those Junos on there that we were talking about. So much fun. And then throw our pads. Yeah, it makes me so happy. It really does kind of feel like I listened to Girls Just Want to Have Fun by Cyndi Lauper like way too much and then decided to write a song. So here's what the lead vocals sound like on the chorus soloed. Man, I'm giving it everything I've got right there. Let's see what we have down here with these vocal harmonies. Let's see what they do to the melody line in the chorus.
I never meant to feel so worthless. We're the only one thing.
So they're actually just doing a few little bits here and there. A lot of times, I think when arranging harmonies, it really is true. Less is more. Sometimes you can sort of emphasize different parts of the song. You can emphasize different words. You don't have to sing a harmony for every single word in the song. Sometimes too many harmonies can take away from the melodic structure of whatever hook that you've tried to write or whatever the chorus melody line is. I'm pretty sure that's probably what I was thinking through this section. We also have these lower harmonies here.
I never meant to feel so worthless. You, the only one thing ever.
That's so fun. Okay, here we go. Here's these two mid harmonies together. You can hear what they're doing.
I never meant to feel so worthless. You were the only one thing ever worth it.
Cool. So we throw the top melody on there, and we'll see what it all sounds like together.
Oh,
Woo.
I never meant to make you feel so worthless when you were the only one thing that was ever worth it.
Man, gosh, that sounds that sounds a lot more fun than I remember it. I guess I was just too busy like recording, but I'm really happy with that. That's fun. I love those big harmonies. Just big pop harmonies, over the top pop. Y'all know what I'm talking about. So we head back out of that into, yeah. This is what we would call the turnaround. Just coming out of our chorus and then back into a verse.
We turn our words into world wars. Yeah, we fight like we're Megazords.
Solo this vocal.
And we'll empty every last clip till we forget who started it. Oh, a wounded song is only worth the wait of what it takes to play. Oh.
Yeah, so in this pre-chorus here, we have this Juno pad happening again that you guys will remember from the first pre-chorus. The Tempur-Pedic pad. But we've done something just a little bit different with it. We've also added this little track called Moog. I'm sure it is a Moog. Yeah, just thought it would be cool to throw another melody in there over top of it. Here's what they do together. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that little monosynth, I think I was just trying to make that pre-chorus feel lyrically a little more longing, a little more sad, a little more lamenting. Hopefully I got close to that. Maybe so, maybe not. It never ceases to amaze me that just the emotion that you can evoke out of these machines, just these machines that take electricity and turn it into tones, and then we use more electricity to manipulate those tones, and they can feel so human at times. They can feel like an extension of ourselves. Like we're able to express ourselves in different ways through technology. And I think that's really fun. It's a fun thing to think about. We're heading back into our second chorus. Okay, so, and as many of you guys know, one of my favorite songwriting tools is the down chorus. Just a moment to where we can hear the chorus spoken in a different way. And so this whole song has sort of been building up. We've got these pianos just going nuts. We have these synthesizers that are really choppy and really energetic, and they're just so happy, and the drum beats feel so bombastic at times. And we have only a few little places to sort of catch our breath, but gosh, it feels like the production on this song is kind of tiring us out. At the end of the day, lyrically, I really am trying to say what I mean, and I'm putting a lot of thought into what I'm saying. So I also need to put a lot of thought into how I'm saying it. And so my idea behind that is, let me just let you listen to the chorus in a new way. Let me say the exact same thing I've been saying the entire song. Let me change the tone of my voice, and let me see if it lands in your ear any differently when I change the tone of my voice. So we do that by dropping out almost all of the production in this down chorus, and we just have this little guy happening. The exact same way we started the song off. Just this little, just sort of perky but mournful piano part. And then over top of that, we have these vocals happening.
I never meant to make you feel so worthless when you were the only one thing. The only one thing. And
so there we go. Just trying to drive the point home. Here's what this all sounds like with everything.
the only one thing. And I never meant to make you feel so worthless. You were the only one thing was ever worth it. You were the one thing was ever.
So one of the things that that you'll hear in a ton of pop music is what are called, some people call them step outs, some people call them ad libs. It's just a variation on the theme of the vocal chorus melody. One of the people that I really love listening to the things that they come up with is Pink. I know that you guys have heard a ton of Pink's music. She is one of my favorite vocal ad-libbers, step out performers, because she seems to be able to prop up her melody so well. The next time that you are listening to the radio and a Pink song comes on, man, listen for that final chorus, because she is just going all over the place with these vocal variations on the chorus, just changing up the melody a little bit, saying those words in a little bit of a different way. And I think that she can express a lot, a lot at one time. Awesome. So that's the song. And we just sort of end where everything, I'm looking at the session right now, everything drops out except for this one kick drum. And then I have just these few notes playing on the piano. So we go up to this part. So we start the song off with piano. We end the song on one note on the piano. Just a really fun way of letting us go back to home base. The one thing that we didn't talk about are all these little transitional pieces that I like to call them. These are our risers and our impacts. And I'll let you guys hear what these sound like. Oh yeah, super crunchy, lo-fi. Then we have this little impact happening right here after that. Yeah. Yes. A solar storm of sorts. And this is what that sounds like in the track. Risers. Yeah. So much fun. Cool. So that is the song Worthless from the album Bang Whimper. And thank you. I would look up on Twitter who tweeted at me to do this song. But yeah, I just don't want to have to scroll through Twitter right now. Whoever you are, thank you so much for your idea. And it gave me a great excuse to sort of dig into these older sessions and walk through these songs. I feel like this album, Bang Whimper, was really important for me because I was going through a lot of different things in life at the moment. And as music is for a lot of people, I feel like songwriting is sort of my therapy. It's how I try different ideas out. It's how I'm able to talk about what I'm feeling. It gives me an excuse to sit down with my emotions and with my feelings and with the reality of what's happening around me. It forces me to think through it and to reinterpret it in some way. And a lot of times it's that sitting down and forcing yourself to interpret what you're feeling and forcing yourself to put words to what you're feeling that makes those feelings relatable. It's how we connect with people, and music is an incredible vehicle for doing that. At least for me, it's an incredible vehicle that I keep getting in the driver's seat and trying to find a new destination. And if you're out there writing songs, and I know a bunch of you are, keep writing, keep learning new ways of expressing yourself, keep learning new ways to think about your feelings and to think about your relationships and your emotions, because songwriting in this way, being honest and vulnerable in our songwriting, helps us develop an emotional vocabulary that is not only helpful in songwriting and helps us to write more relatable songs, it also makes us more relatable as humans. It also gives us new and interesting ways of articulating what it is that we're feeling to each other. And I feel like it's in those ways that we can really learn to love each other better. I'm really, really happy that you guys all joined me for today's episode. If you got this podcast when it comes out, then you've got an entire weekend ahead of you. I hope that your Friday is shaping up to be an amazing time. Go hug somebody. Go give somebody a high five. Just spread some love this weekend. Be kind to each other. Do something more human than send someone an emoji. Actually do something in real life with them. Go out for coffee, go see a movie, get off your computer and do something human with another human. And in doing so, perhaps we will all be unicorns. Or I have no idea. I'm so tired. I'm going to go take a nap. And I love you guys. Make sure if you haven't already that you not only hit subscribe on 11ty Life, but that you also hit subscribe on my friend Stephen Long's podcast, Sacred Tension. He has had some amazing guests this month. And for those of you who are on your own personal faith journeys throughout the cosmos, man, I promise you that you will not regret downloading any Sacred Tension episode that you decide to be a part of. Anyway, I love y'all, and I'll see you next week.
11ty Life is a production of Rock Candy Recordings and Rock Candy Media.